is up, YouTube? It is Thursday, July 5th. Hope you had a great 4th of July, and I hope all 10 of your fingers and toes and all your eyeballs and everything are all intact after whatever shenanigans you went through yesterday. I know a neighbor back behind me, he got a little crazy with the firework on Saturday night. Few cop cars, fire truck, an ambulance, fire marshal, and a trip to the hospital. Apparently blew his hand open. Yeah, alcohol and fireworks don't mix, ladies and gentlemen. So, July 5th, I was out of town for a few days on vacation with the family. Didn't go very far, just went to Columbus, went to the zoo, and a science museum out there. I had a pretty good time, so I didn't do much with the yard. For the 4th, no July 4th lawn domination and throwing a bunch of Milorganite down or anything. In fact, it actually rained quite a bit here, much needed over the past couple days. I was getting a little bit of heat stress. I came back and I actually have quite a bit of lawn growth, so I really need to mow. But the weather, I can tell, right behind me, it's a little gray. They've been calling for 40 to 50% chance of rain for most of the day. I've been hearing a lot of thunder, so I've been holding off on everything to see if it was actually going to open up and pour on me. It hasn't so far, so I'm going to press my luck. I've got some crabgrass along my driveway that I've been fighting for a while. As you can see in a couple of videos previous, I sprayed Pro-Sedge and quinclorac down. Most of the Pro-Sedge did its job on the nut edge. A lot of that is going to a real light yellow to a brown. So most of that is dying off. I did miss some spots, so I did get another box of that from doing my own, and that is on its way. Actually, I have to take that back. It's not on its way. It is here. Showed up while I was on vacation, so I need to get that down. I'll do a separate application for that, and but more importantly, I want to get the quinclorac down another try. And this time, instead of using the baby shampoo as a surfactant, I picked up a bottle of the Prime Source methylated seed oil from Do My Own. I'm going to use that with the quinclorac to use as my surfactant. Hopefully I'll have a little bit better luck with it this time. That is what is recommended to be used with the quinclorac, is the methylated seed oil, or MSO for short. So I'm going to mix up a small batch of it. Instead of going a full gallon, I will just go with a half gallon. As 1 gallon, seemed like when I mixed the Pro-Sedge and quinclorac, I was able to spray almost every spot between the nutsedge and crabgrass all together. So I'm going to do a half gallon of the quinclorac, and that should get my excuse me, should get the crabgrass areas that I'm trying to target right now. So I'm going to mix up a little bit of the quinclorac and MSO, and we're going to get to spraying. So one of the things I loved when I was in Columbus, I hit the Science Museum, found some rocket socks. I kind of wish they had the rockets angled a little bit further out, because it's going straight up, and it seems to be pointing toward Uranus. Alright, I'm going to get my sprayer put together here. I'm going to mix up the half gallon. I always break this thing down all the way when I clean it out, so I don't have any remainder of a chemical in here, and it keeps it from clogging up on me. So I'm going to do a quarter gallon to get it started, and then I'll mix in my chemicals and then go up the rest of the way to the half gallon mark. If you ever cast, it's kind of hard to see my lines. It's about half. I'm not going to get exact on it. So with this quinclorac, it's the same Prime Source quinclorac. I'm going to, instead of doing the 1.48 ounce, I believe, or 1.45 ounce it was, since I'm doing a half rate, I'm going to hit the half ounce line and the 1/4 ounce line. That'll get me 3/4 of an ounce, which would be about half rate of the 1 gallon. This is the Prime Source methylated seed oil. It's called Duo Stick Select. So got a little crazy in shipping, so all sucked in. Haven't opened it up yet, so it's still got the seal on it. I can crack this open without having to puncture it. There we go. Alright. So I believe this called for a 1/2 ounce per gallon. So I'm going to mix this up and do about a 1/4 ounce. I'm shooting a video here. That is mixed in. Let's go up to a 1/2 gallon. Sometimes what I have to do so I can actually see my 1/2 gallon mark is right here. So I'm just kind of using the shadow of my finger, kind of put behind there and then look in there so I can actually see where my finger is, so I can see the marks. So that is in there. Give it a little stir. Alright. Let's get to spraying. All right, here's our problem areas. So one thing one of the guys on Discord said when he saw my other videos asking if I was using a surfactant, we got talking that he used the quinclorac, some triclopyr, and then the non-ionic surfactant. While this does not have the triclopyr in it, that would possibly help give it a little extra edge to killing these weeds. But this should on its own do its thing. As long as I get all this worked in really good. It's definitely giving it a nice coat on here. Get this area sprayed and then I'll zoom in so you can get a better look. Looks like it's definitely sticking pretty good. Let's get in here and take a look. You see there is no beating up. Look at that shot right there. That's all nicely coated. That should definitely give me some nice weed kill. So I'm going to finish up and get these sprayed. Hopefully it won't rain on me. We'll follow up tomorrow morning. Hopefully if all goes as planned. the crabgrass should start turning white on me overnight, and hopefully it'll stay dead, but we'll take a look here in the morning. Alright, so the quinclorac is sprayed down across all the crabgrass. I had just enough to get it all sprayed down, so I measured that out pretty spot on. So I'm going to wait for the next morning to see what the progress is on that. In the meantime, something else I was going to kind of discuss. So many people out there are doing the humic acid, old n-ext, RGS stuff. I'm one that has been kind of a little bit leery of it, just for the fact that, and it's nothing against any of the other lawn channels that push this or anything. It's so a lot of these lawn channels will push this, but the same lawn channels are pushing it on their own site where they are selling the product. So that's kind of just a flag to me as a consumer when you have someone say, "Oh yeah, get this product, it's great, it's great. Oh, by the way, you can buy it on my store and I'm going to make money off of it." So I kind of held back on it. I want to do my own research on it and see what other people who have bought that product have said about it. And to date, I have not found a single person that said a bad thing about the n-ext products. With that, it's kind of pricey from my standpoint. I mean, every product that you get of that Greene County Fertilizer n-ext product line is about $100. Granted, you get a lot of product for that. I believe it would cover like what it was, like 40 or 50,000 square feet or something for this 2.5 gallon jug. I just don't have enough people to share that with. My father-in-law has a small postage stamp lawn. He's getting into it, so I've been giving him some pointers and a couple things to buy. He actually just bought some of that quinclorac for his lawn as well to try to kill off some of his crabgrass. So with that, I've kind of been just waiting on the other people to see what they say. They've said it's great. So with that being so expensive, I'm thinking, okay, is there some other way to do it? Because humic acid, Greene County Fertilizer isn't the only person who sells humic acid, or anyone that does anything with sea kelp or any of these other chemicals that go into the Greene County Fertilizer products. So what I did do though is I have a Chapin. This is a G632. It's just a regular one. It's not the G632. I believe it's D. Basically, the only difference is the opening here for the bottle is a lot larger. I can tell here that's almost just like a regular spray bottle hole. So if you have some chemicals that you're trying to put in there, it'll be a little more difficult to pour. Might need a funnel for it. I haven't used this yet. This is brand new out of the box, so I have yet to use this. But I am preparing to. So a couple of videos I mentioned, I do want to get some of the maybe like a liquid iron and spray down. I didn't want to do the ironite just because of the large amounts of arsenic that is in the pellet ironite. So I am going to do a liquid form of the iron, be that through, if I do end up getting it through RGS, or if I get it through some other means. I will probably spray through here, so I'll give a full product review of this. Seems like a decent, I mean, it's metal handle and everything, so seems to be pretty good. But back to the humic acid, I did find some humic acid and some sea kelp, and I was able to probably make quite a bit more than 2.5 gallons for about $50. I haven't bought it yet, but I think as long as I get it clear through my wife, then I will probably get that ordered up, and then I will be able to try my own humic acid and sea kelp and see what exactly that will do with the lawn as compared to the Milorganite that I've been putting down. See if there's any real difference, if it perks up quicker, if it's slower, if it works in combination with the Milorganite like some say, with the humic acid kind of freeing up the micronutrients that are in the soil. So then that Milorganite that is sitting in there can be more readily absorbed up into the plant. So we'll see. So this is step one. Step two is clearing with the wife. Make sure I can spend another $50 on lawn care products. She's either going to tell me no, roll her eyes, or she'll just say whatever and walk out of the room. In which case, if she walks out of the room, I'm buying it. So we'll see what that does. Alright, so it is next day. Is Friday, July 6th. We'll update on the crabgrass. So it's not completely white, but I am seeing some blades looking a little peaked. I got a little bit of a white tint to them, so they're getting a little bit lighter in color. This actually looks like on the edge there is starting to turn white, so it is starting to take effect. Yeah, it's looking a little off color there. So I say give this another day. I should really start seeing some pretty visible effects here. So it's kind of like a light green or a powder green. I don't know how you'd word that, but it's definitely not as dark as it was yesterday. Camera isn't able to pick all that up, but definitely some visible results here. So we'll give it another day, see what we got. Alright, so since I'm waiting for the quinclorac to take full effect, I need to wait a full 2 days for the quinclorac to take full effect and before I can mow. Since I put down the quinclorac yesterday on the 5th, I need to wait until the 7th before I can mow. That will just give time for that quinclorac to soak in through the leaf blades and be able to really take effect on that crabgrass and start killing it off. So you really don't want to mow any sooner than that, otherwise you're kind of losing some of that chemical that's getting cut off at the leaf blade. So with that, it's been about 3.5 weeks since I put down the Milorganite. I put down roughly 1/3 of a pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square foot last time. So this time I'm going to turn the dial up a little bit more to get closer to that 1/2 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square foot. My Scott's Edge Guard spreader was set to, I believe, 5. I'm going to turn up to about 7. That should get me closer to that rate. So I'm going to start loading up and I'm going to semi-throw it down this time.
Smells good.
Back to. Alright, so I have mostly got through all of the fertilizing of the yard. Some fireworks going off still. I put down about 3/4 of a bag in the backyard. I've got 2 bags down so far across the front yard. So I'm going into my, should be the last bag, so that'll give me roughly almost 4 bags compared to 2.5 to 3 that I used in the last application. So I definitely bumped up my application rates a little bit more. I should be closer to that 1/2 pound per 1,000. So I'm going to get this down to finish things up. One thing I noticed is actually kind of cool. It's kind of pretty, really, how some of the weeds look. You know, granted, they're still a weed and you want them gone, and they stick out like a sore thumb in your yard. But you come across some weeds sometimes, or just oddities in the lawn. You kind of sit back and it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool looking. So come across some of these. So it's, yeah, just a patch of grass here, but it's got these red tips on it. I've got a few spots in the yard like that. There's a couple in the front over here, and then another spot closer to the road. They're actually kind of cool looking. Almost puts you in the mind of a like a Japanese eating Japanese bush or something like that, where it had the red tips on them. So it's kind of cool. But I know that it's a weed, and ultimately, what do we do with weeds? They die. It is Saturday, July 7th. Not a whole lot going on. The quinclorac still working its way through the crabgrass. A little bit more of the areas are getting that lighter green effect to it. So just doing some mowing today, edging, cleaning things up. Since I didn't get to get a mid-week mow for the 4th of July. So things were a little bit overgrown. But it's looking pretty good using the striper. You can see behind me, it's looking a little more defined the more I use this striper, so liking it more and more the more I use it. So I'm going to get back to mowing and edging things out. A little bit out of breath. It's not as hot as it had been. It had been 90, 95 the past couple weeks. It's only about 75 today, so that's pretty good. But I still got to have the mission cover because the neighbor behind me, he was side discharging while he was mowing pretty low. He was gone for about 2 weeks, so he didn't mow for 2 weeks. So he has tons of overgrowth. Side discharged it, and so it was kicking all kinds of stuff up. So I was gagging and hacking things up. So had to put my dust mask on. But things are looking pretty good. Just kind of waiting for the crabgrass to finally die off. All right, one last thing before I close out this video, because I was mentioning the n-ext products and the humic acids, I did finally break down and I did order some humic acid and some sea kelp. I will link the products that I actually bought off Amazon in the description below. I should actually have that in, I believe, tomorrow, so it'll be Tuesday, July 10th. So that should be in. I'm going to use that Chapin sprayer that I showed earlier in the video, and I'm going to try that out. I'll probably have to do some video of calibrating it to make sure I know exactly how many gallons per minute that Chapin sprayer sprays, so I know exactly how much humic acid is going down per minute, so I don't overdose it. But should be pretty interesting. I've never worked with humic acids before, or even sea kelp for that matter, so we'll see what that's going to do. So until the next video.